What's up, YouTube? Just going over here, showing one of the new projects I just picked up. I got a 1954 Chevy Bel Air two-door, and just kind of going to go over some of the project that I got going, what came with the car, a little bit of details in regards to the car, and just wanted to show you guys what we got going. Here you go, check it out. All right, here it is. So it's been swapped in the back already. It's got from what I was told, a 79 Camaro rear end under it. You can tell it's pretty low. I know we need to drop the front still. The front needs to come down quite a bit because it doesn't have an engine in it right now. The interior is not complete at all. It does have some front seats. Definitely got some floorboard work that needs to be done to it. I've ordered some new floorboards. Dash is pretty complete for the most part. I do have the glove box here. Original radio, original cluster, original cigarette lighter area. It's got a couple things kind of here and there. Looks like we got the grill kind of portion here with the lights, front bumper. I was told this motor might not be for this car. I think it's a Chevy 250 inline six out of a Nova, but still got to look into that and see kind of what that consists of. I plan on doing probably an LS swap in this thing from a truck like a 5.3 or a 6.0. Overall, the body is in pretty decent shape. I know I'm gonna have to replace that rear valance there, or whatever it's called, for the rear bumper. I need to get tail light bezels, headlights, a little bit of everything on it. It did come with two brand new front windows and a full wiring harness when I bought it. The windows are all in decent condition. I know that this one has a little chip here. The other side has a crack, and then that vent window on that passenger door needs to be replaced as well. Overall, the body's actually pretty straight on this car. It does have, you know, some chips and dings and stuff like that I'm gonna go through. All the wheels are different currently on it. I did pick up a set of Kragers that I'm going to kind of start mocking up just to check out the differences. Here's the engine bay. You know, rust wise, it's actually in really good condition. None of the inner fender wells are rusted out. None of the kick panels are rusted out. It's literally just the passenger floorboard. That's really the only major rust, and then there's a little bit on the driver's side. You can see where someone mocked up some engine mounts of some type in here. Overall, the car's actually in pretty good shape. I need to get some keys for it, lock cylinders, lock hatch. Inside here, you can also see good condition still, no real major rust. You see, at one point in time, it actually had a really nice paint job on it. Looks like it's almost like a root beer brown with a metal flake to it. Looks really, really nice. I got a Power Glide here. I'll most likely be selling the inline six and the Power Glide off of it. I'm gonna kind of go through the car, inventory it. Looks like we got most of the trim for the car as well. You know, just a bunch of various different pieces just kind of sitting everywhere. I really need to just go through the car, get everything pulled out, and really see what we have, so I can get an inventory list of what we actually need for the car. But overall, really cool project to start. I'm excited to see how this goes and the build process behind it. All right, here's some of the inner fender welling. I just wanted to show this is really solid still. The only thing that's going on here is some of the undercoating is flaking off. It's all really, really solid still. As you can see, it's really, really good condition for a 54. Inner fenders, you can see it looks really, really good. You can see on the back side of here too, in the inner quarters, there's never been any damage. They all look straight. They're not rusted out. Everything actually looks good down in here. Inner fender wells on the rear, no rust. Same thing on this side, no damaged inner quarters. This all looks good. It's just undercoating, no rust. Here's a quick overview of the rear end. Took this 14-inch tire off the back, kind of see what we got going in here. And basically, this is from what I was told, a 78 or 79 Camaro rear end that was shoved in here. It looks like it still has the factory leaves. And they used some kind of flip kit of some sort, and it's definitely gonna have to be replaced, completely redone. I'm gonna cut these purchase off
and get the correct leafs for it in order to get everything sitting like it's supposed to be and actually be safe to drive. The factory shock mounts are still on the body part, but they are just sitting there on the floor. So definitely gonna need some work on the rear end portion to get it to where we need to in order to be able to drive this truck safely. Excuse me, drive this car safely. Right now what I'm gonna do is I picked up a set of 14-inch kind of classic mags that I'm just gonna swap out these wheels on, because this car has 4 different wheels on it currently, and I'm just doing a test fit to make sure that the lugs are the correct size for these. I picked these up for $100. But there you go, 14-inch mag bolted on. I'm not putting the tires on them just quite yet. I'm gonna try to polish this lip on here. But so far I think it looks pretty good in comparison to this factory wheel. That might have been the wheel off the Camaro that he got this rear end from. All right, so what we got going now is I'm gonna go ahead and take the engine that was in the back seat of the car out using this engine hoist. And you can kind of see it's getting dark on us, but we got this inline 250 that's just sitting in the back seat, and I want to get it out of here so I can kind of assess the situation on the inside. Okay, all right, I'm just gonna lower the stand down and get this sucker in place, hooked up to the engine. All right, so right now I got to jack it up a little bit more. The flywheel is actually hitting over there on the side, on the center. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack this up a little bit more, and then I think we'll clear. Okay. Engine's too heavy to use the hoist all the way out, so I just needed that reach to get it from the passenger side, excuse me, from the driver's side. So I'm going to shorten up the hoist now so that I can actually carry it without the hoist trying to flip over. A lot more stable. We're gonna go ahead and just roll this over to the side of my house. All right, yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and leave this motor sitting here for a little while. This is not the motor that's going in the car. We're gonna do a 5.3 swap in the car with the 4L60. So this motor's gonna sit here. It's got a two-speed power glide that's in the trunk. I'm also gonna pull out and throw this here. And then this 250 and the power glide will just get posted up for sale. I'll probably get it running here as just a bench test just to see the compression before I sell it. Make sure it's a good motor and everything. But you'll see that in some future videos if I decide to do that. All right, now that we got the motor out, you can see a little bit more of the floor damage. I got a new filler panel ordered for this, so this should be coming in this week. We'll get started working on some of the interior. I'll probably just make a patch panel for that one there, and I still have to order the driver's side patch panel, see if we can get that one swapped out as well. Otherwise, that's pretty much the only rust on the whole car, so it's really not bad. This front seat, I was told it was from a 55. I'm not exactly sure. They did make some kind of funky mounts here that I don't like. I'm going to see if I can try to find the correct seat for this year. All right, so you got a much better look at the back of the car now, and as you can tell, the back is significantly better. I mean, the floorboards look pretty good. Right here, it looks like it's got a little bump where someone probably put a jack at some point, but everything's really, really solid. No rust at all. Really, really solid floorboards. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean this up when I'm working on the inside, and then get it all just treated, and should be good to go. Obviously the rear seat needs to be pulled out, completely reupholstered, and then I know the rear deck has definitely got some holes in it that I'm just going to patch up, make look better, and then I'll modify for speakers as needed. I think that's what they were originally for, but they did a really bad job. Headliner completely needed, has no braces, no brackets, no interior trim, but it does still have the dome light. Just need the housing and the cover for it, I believe. Looks like we're missing a back window crank. This one's actually there, but we need to get that side as well. So there's definitely a few things we need to get. I need visors, brackets, just a little bit of everything. I did pull out the front bumper from inside the car, as well as the grille, and then the front grille section. The only thing that looks like it's missing on here that that's going to need to be cleaned up and purchased is going to be the grill teeth. Looks like there's 5 teeth that typically go on these grills, and I'm missing all 5 of them. So I'll be purchasing that. This front gravel pan, or whatever that's called, a filler panel for the front bumper. It's bent right there in the front, but I think I should be able to straighten that out pretty good. Just do just a little bit of body work on it and then straighten it out. Well, now here's the rear of the car. This is the rear bumper. It's rough. It has almost no chrome left on it at all. This is the trim pieces. There's really only 2 pieces of quarter trim and 2 door trim, so we're missing quite a bit. They're actually all pretty good shape, but I need all the clips and basically the remainder of the molding that goes on the side of the car and the rockers, and rear trunk latch and rear emblem. And then I also obviously have to do a significant amount of body work on this back end here. There's a 2-speed power glide will get pulled out, but other than that, the trunk pan is actually really good as well. I'll be getting a new gravel pan for this here. It's just too beat up, and you can see where they did some filler at some point in time, and they make this as a remanufactured part, so I'll just go ahead and pick one of those up online. Next video that should be coming out, I did order the rear leaf spring kit for this rear end to get the Camaro rear end set in there correctly and safely. As soon as I get those parts to come in, hopefully within the next week or so, I'll get that installed and video the process of getting that installed, show you the parts that came in for it, as well as you know, the design of the upgrades that it is going to do, because it's actually replacing the factory leaf spring purchase with new leaf spring purchase, as well as relocating the shocks onto a bar instead of the shocks going directly into the floor pan. Again, like I said, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you can, and look out for the updates.